This is either a complete waste of money or one of the best flight sim purchases you'll ever make. And this is the MOZA G1000, a glass cockpit system inspired by the real G1000 for under $500. And this is a one-to-one, true-to-life remake. When I first saw this, I had so many questions. I thought this was only going to be for really high-end setups, mostly for home cockpits. But that's exactly what MOZA changed. You don't need none of that. If you've got a desk, this applies to you. So when MOZA reached out to me and said, hey, do you want to check this out? I said, yeah, of course. So the MGX1000 is MOZA's take on a full glass cockpit experience based on the real G1000. But if you don't know what a G1000 is, the G1000 replaces your traditional steam gauges with two digital screens. PFD on the left for your flight instruments, and MFD on the right for your navigation, maps, engine data, and flight planning. Everything in one place. And MOZA's taken that entire real-world system and built it as hardware for your desk or home cockpit. But let's take a look at what comes in the box. The unboxing experience is exactly what you'd expect from MOZA. Clean, premium, and nothing to complain about. You know there's quality here. And the G1000 is no different. First up, we've got this manual, but you know us, we don't need that. And then we've got the main panel itself. Now this thing looks so much bigger in person, which kind of made me start to worry because I wanted to set this up on my desk. But don't worry, we'll cover that. Included are two brackets so the unit can sit on your desk, and then the power brick and USB A to A cable, which really confused me because that was it. There was no HDMI cable, no DisplayPort cable, and it wasn't till I actually looked at the back of the unit and realized this didn't need it. That's right, this doesn't need any other DisplayPort. It runs completely from that USB cable. As long as you give it power and plug that USB in, it works. And yeah, it's pretty amazing. Let me show you how to get this running, because it's pretty much plug and play with one thing you need to know up front. First of all, install the MOZA Cockpit software. If you've got any of their other hardware, you've already got this, which means all you have to do is plug in the power and USB cable, and that's almost it. Here's one thing MOZA hasn't solved yet. Their app can't pull the displays out of Flight Sim natively, so you'll need to use Pop-Out Manager or something like GlassOut to handle that. That's because this is technically a monitor, and it works fully as a monitor as well, and we'll come back to that. You set it up once and you never really touch it again, and it only takes about a minute. Now, and this is the part that most people won't tell you, because you're probably buying one of these units, which means you can only display either the MFD or PFD at one time. But I found a trick that effectively gives you both on one panel, kind of. In Pop-Out Manager, instead of making one profile, make two, one for the MFD and one for the PFD. It takes about 60 seconds. Then in the MOZA app, you can switch between left and right, because yes, they behave independently. Switching between them isn't seamless yet. You close one panel, swap over the other profile, reopen it. It's not exactly seamless, but it does work. Or you could buy two of these displays and use both of them. But my God, once you actually get this in the simulator, it is by far some of the best hardware I have checked out all year. And the best part is, it doesn't matter whether you're using a yoke, a joystick, or if it's just sitting on your desk. Because this is what I was first worried about. Because of the size and how complex the G1000s normally are, it's not something you can just easily plug in and go flying. Normally, you have to build a custom frame, a home cockpit, and then there's all the proprietary software and cable management and everything that goes with it. Where this literally sits on your desk, you plug in two cables, and that's really it. Just for reference, it takes me longer to set up my Thrustmaster yoke than it does to use this. And honestly, it's so rare that we see hardware like this, where it's true to life, one-to-one scale, and it can be used on the desk. So those of us that are just desk pilots can actually enjoy hardware like this now. No longer do you need a custom frame, a full cockpit setup, none of that. It's literally plug and play. And the best part, this can double up as a monitor because it literally is technically a monitor. So technically, if you want, you can play Flight Sim on the G1000. And if you can get this video to 1,000 likes, then I will do a VATSIM event only using the G1000 as my monitor. So go hit like to see me suffer. But seriously, this might be one of the best bits of hardware I've seen come to Flight Simulator this year. For something that is true to life and a 1-to-1 scale, it is so versatile. It's compact enough to take around, and you can use it in just about any setup. And let's not forget to mention, it's under $500. There is no other G1000 at that price. And the fact that MOZA has done it blows me away even more. That definitely wasn't on my bingo card this year. And you might be wondering, when's it coming out? Well, you can get it right now. But let's talk about this for a second. Do you actually need a G1000? Realistically, if you don't fly much GA, let alone GA with G1000s, then you're probably not going to get much use out of this. You shouldn't really have too much of a hard time getting it to work with whatever aircraft that you do fly, because it is a HID device, which means you can manually map it in the simulator if you want to. But if you don't fly a ton of GA, then this becomes kind of an expensive monitor. Don't get me wrong, it's probably the coolest monitor you can buy, but it might not be worth it. But if you fly anything with a G1000, things like business jets, Cessnas, or even maybe things slightly out of that realm that you think you can map to this, then yeah, this hands down is probably the best bit of hardware I've checked out this year. Like, as soon as this releases, I'm getting another one. But I know the hype has been absolutely mental for this one, and so many people have been so eager to see it. So if you've got any specific questions, drop them down in the comments below, or join my Discord where I can show you one-on-one exactly what this can do. But otherwise, I just want to thank you for watching, and a huge thanks to MOZA for sending this out. So if you want to find out more, join the Discord, and you may as well hit like and get subscribed. But until next time, I'll catch you then.